Hello students, welcome back. So by now you have fairly good understanding about AWS Cloud, and we covered in my previous chapters like how to get started with the AWS Cloud, how can you create your own account, and then how you can have various resources, let's say about the default VPC, then about EC2 instances, then about S3 buckets, various S3 bucket objects, access control list, and policies over the S3 buckets. So all those important topics we have covered, and today now I'm going to start with the important networking components which are associated with your AWS account. So when we talk about AWS account, once you create account on your AWS cloud, then the first thing is the virtual private cloud. So you start with a default VPC that we already saw in the previous chapters. So when we think about VPC, you can consider it as a virtual data center. So just like physical data center, this virtual data center has your important servers, your VMs, your applications running, and then you decide what kind of application component should be accessible outside to the public internet. And more about the data center or about the cloud computing, you can also check out my other videos that I already have created, and you will find references in the description box below. So further to VPC, the next one is availability zones. So as we covered and learned already that every region of AWS, there are minimum three availability zones available, and each availability zone is physically separated to make sure that if something goes wrong to one of the physical locations, still your assets, your servers, your applications are running from other two availability zones. So this is to make sure that you have always high availability to your critical applications. Now taking one step further, I will talk a bit about the VPC's IP blocks. So like when we talk about IPv4, then there are certain defined CIDR blocks that we should opt when we are creating VPCs. So like these ranges are however coming from RFC 1918, and these ranges for all the three classes, class A, B and C, is falling between 10.00.16, 170.31.00 slash 16, which is class B, and then class C is 192.168.00 slash 20. And here the important thing is that this CIDR block range can vary from slash 16 till slash 28 netmarks as per your requirement. Let's say you know that when you are defining your VPC, how many servers, how many applications will be running there, and what will be the range of IPs. So based on that, you can assign these ranges. And one more thing here that you have to determine and also have to be careful is that avoid using the CIDR range, that is 172.17.0.0 slash 16, because this is used by some other AWS services like AWS Cloud 9 or AWS SageMaker. So if you are using this range, then there might be chances that you get later some IP conflict errors. So just to avoid those IP conflict errors, it's advisable that do not use this range, and this is the similar thing also mentioned on the documentation provided by AWS. So now as a recap, I will be just rephrasing again all these important networking components. So we covered AWS Cloud, then there is virtual private cloud, and this virtual private cloud has one CIDR block that you have to define when you are creating it. Then there is internet gateway. This internet gateway is important to have internet access to your services, to your EC2 instances which are running within your subnets, like your public subnet. So the next to the internet gateway is just referring is the subnet mask. So you can have either private subnet mask or you can have public subnet mask as per your requirement. Like let's say if you want to have your assets just limited within VPC and no access to outside world, you can opt for private subnet mask. Otherwise you can have public subnet mask here to have access to the internet. With every subnet, there is route table which is associated, and this route table ensure that how the traffic will be routed from within your subnets and from your EC2 instances to the another subnet mask or even towards the internet gateway. So that is being decided using the route table. Then the next in the list is net gateway. So that is network address translation gateway. So let's say if you have certain applications or VMs which are running inside private subnet mask, and you do not want to have internet access directly to these EC2 instances, then you can use here net gateway. So this net gateway help you to have internet access, but still there is no inbound internet access. So still your assets or your servers will not be accessible from the internet, but still you can access internet. So no inbound internet access, but just the outbound internet traffic will be allowed. So that is what is this net gateway used for. So next is a security group. So when you create your VPC, then by default a security group is created, and the security group provides a list of rules that decide that what kind of traffic should be allowed towards your subnet. So like, let's say for example, whether you want to allow only HTTPS access or SSH or FTP or any kind of protocol that you want to allow, that can be allowed using the security groups. The next is network access control list. So just like a security group, network access control list is providing additional layer of security, and you can define additionally that what kind of access there can be for your running instances or applications within each subnet. So that can be defined using the network access control list. So this was an overview about the important networking components that we have to configure when we start setting up our EC2 instances or our various applications or databases within our AWS cloud. I hope you enjoyed this topic, and look forward to see you in my next chapters. Thank you. So subscribe, like, and hit bell icon to my channel. Thank you.